gaze upon the sculpture bust above his chamber door with such a name as Nevermore.
Oh, didn't see you there. Just caught me in a little bit of light reading. Today, we're going to be taking a look at alignments in ballroom and Latin dancing. What are they? How do you use them? Why are they important? Why do I feel like I'm not meeting social expectations? Every day leaving me more sad and alone. We'll probably not cover the last one today. That's a whole other issue. But we will be covering
Alignments.
and there's a bonus tip near the end of the video as well, so make sure you watch until the end. Let's go. Hello and welcome to the Dancer's Hideout, the place where you find all the tips and tricks to help you in your dancing. My name's Ian, I'm a professional teacher and former competitor with over 30 years of dancing experience and teaching. Alignments in ballroom and Latin dancing are the little metaphorical points on a compass that we use to navigate the dance floor with. Like my old school teacher, Mr. Smith, he was a professor of
Directions.
I remember this one time when I was actually sent to his office, but he wasn't there. So I asked his assistant where he was, and she told me he was busy writing his book. Obviously I had to ask what it was about, and she told me that it was a book about the opposite of left. Sounds about right, I thought. Alignments are used to help link figures into a continued
Sequence.
and they're also used to help orientate the dancer within the choreographical or amalgamations that they might choose to use. But what the heck are they? Let's see what the technique books have to say. In Guy Howard's book, Technique of Ballroom Dancing, the subject of alignment is referred to as alignment. This refers to the foot or feet and describes where the feet are facing, backing, or pointing in relation to the room at the end of a step. In the Imperial Society of Teachers of Dancing book titled The Ballroom Technique, alignment is referred to as alignment, the position of the feet in relation to the room, used facing or backing when the feet and body are in line, and pointing when the foot is in a different alignment to the body. The Laird technique of Latin dancing, written by Walter Laird himself, states alignment as alignment. The alignments given under the charts refer to the direction in which the body is facing or backing in relation to the room. When a side lead is used, the amalgamation and amount of turn is not considered affected. Alignment is only important for figures used in progressive dances, samba and paso doble. The rumba, cha-cha and jive are non-progressive dances. You can see here that all the technique books are kind of saying the same thing, essentially, albeit with additional points included in them, or alternations in the way that they're using the words. But nevertheless, they are still saying the same thing.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
And that's primarily because there's only so many possible ways that we can actually do something within the dancing. Pop quiz! Which style of dance do you think uses more alignments, ballroom or Latin? Have a think.
A few moments later.
If you said ballroom, you were right. If you said Latin, have a word with yourself. What do I win, I hear you ask?
Pride.
You win pride and some minor bragging rights. Plainly stated, alignments are positions used to identify directions, which are measured by the feet wherever they may be facing, backing, or pointing towards. Which only happens to remind me of when I got banned from acting in a production of Romeo and Juliet, all because I'd misunderstood the stage directions. In fairness, they did say, enter Juliet from the rear.
Surprise, motherfucker!
The infographic on the screen here shows the agreed upon alignments used within the dance industry. Every dance style will use this concept. Now, the details of the wording might actually be slightly different, but the overall premise right across any of the dance that might exist is still the same. Just like watching Neil Jones's dancing on Strictly Come Dancing. Still the same. Poor Neil. No matter if you happen to be from a ballet background, or you're a salsa dancer, or you dance jazz, or if you come from a ballroom and Latin background like mine, the concept of alignment is still universally the same.
Hold up! Wait a minute! Something ain't right!
It's a jam donut, guys. We can all call it whatever we want as long as we know what we're on about. Every dance style will use alignments, as every single dance style has steps, movement, and forms of progression. So as such, they require the use of an alignment to help understand the orientation of the dancer themselves and the direction of where they happen to be moving. Something that my local Chinese is still failing to get right. My apartment is only like 10 minutes away. It feels like I have to cover extra on delivery charge just to cover the driver's incompetency. And when the food arrives, it's cold. Anyway, even contemporary dance uses alignments in its notational form. Granted, they don't call it alignments, but that's what it is.
Nice.
Let me show you. Within contemporary dance, there are 3 distinct levels of height to portray movement on. There's the normal standing position, where the level of movement remains the same, so we could call this like a normal position. There's up in a raised position on either the toes or the balls of the feet, and then there are low movements which happen closer to the ground level, or literally on the floor. As you can see from the illustrations, we'll be using the notational form on the normal level to help keep things clear. As you can see from the infographic, there's a clear right and left side, and by applying the logic from the alignment compass and using its 8 points, you can see that even though the layout is different, you can move forwards, backwards, to the right or wall on our alignment's compass, and to the left or centre on our alignment's compass. You can also move to the left and diagonally forward, to the right and diagonally forward, to the left and diagonally backward, and to the right and diagonally backward. So you can see it is literally the same thing. It might look different, but it actually is the same thing. Not unlike the picture that's on the front of those frozen pizza boxes that you get at the supermarket. It looks like the whole of Italy is going to burst out of that box with olives and violas and one of those guys riding on one of those gondola things. Just the gondola, mind you, not like the whole of Venice. We don't want the sewers around, do we? Needless to say, the frozen pizza that I had did not give me the taste of Italy. And I will be phoning their customer service helpline after this video.
And his name is...
Yeah.
We can call it notation in this case, but it's still referring to alignments and direction of movement. Just to be clear, the notation info, not the poop pizza. An extract taken from Rudolph Laban. Laban? Laban? In his book, Mastery of Movement, he has a statement which I feel wonderfully links all of these different terminologies that we use. There exists an almost mathematical relationship between the inner motivation of movement and the functions of the body, and guidance in the knowledge of impulse and function is the only means that can promote the freedom and spontaneity of the moving body. So, what do we mean by facing, backing and pointing alignments? A backing alignment is when the direction of progression opposes the direction of where you are facing towards. A facing alignment is where the direction and progression of movement are the same, i.e. you can see where you're heading to. And a pointing alignment is simply the direction the foot is pointing, usually with one foot, in relation to the rest of the body. Pointing alignments tend to encompass the aspect of turn within a figure and are mainly danced by the person who is on the inside of the turn. Let's look at some examples of each of these. If our dancer here is moving backwards in, let's say, the first step of a feather finish for the leader in the slow foxtrot, he will start by backing the line of dance and use this alignment whilst he takes that first step. This is because line of dance is his alignment here on his first step, and so he is moving backwards in this direction. His partner will be dancing forward in this same figure and step, and so because she'll be moving forward in this first step, her alignment will be facing the line of dance. Because she's moving down the line of dance alignment and she's facing forward. Remember guys, the alignment insinuates the direction of where you will be moving. So in the example that I've just mentioned previously, both people in the dance partnership will be moving along the line of dance. It's just one of them is backing the alignment, so they're moving backwards into that direction.
Oh my.
And the other person's facing forward, so they'll be moving forward into that direction. The infographic here on the screen helps to establish the correlation of alignment and movement around the floor in progressive dances. Now let's look at the pointing alignment. In the same foxtrot figure, the leader will be dancing a pointing alignment with his left foot on the second step of the feather finish figure. Sorry. This is because the feather finish in foxtrot has a turning aspect to it, which is used to help the couple switch their positions and continue into the third step of the figure before then carrying on with another figure. The lady also has this action for herself as well on step 2 of the natural turn in waltz. If you remember, pointing alignments help facilitate the aspect of turn within certain figures. Which means the pointing action that the lady produces on step 2 of a natural turn in waltz helps the couple turn together and switch their positioning. Using alignments in conjunction with the direction of movement and the appropriate transferring of weight within steps helps create clearer movements for the dancer and for the dance couple, because with every step that you take and every breath that you make, I'll be watching you Nah, I'm just kidding. Whether that's a forward step, a backward step, or a turning step. Either way, if you're taking a step using one of those particular options, they can only use one of the 8 options on the alignment compass that we've just been talking about. You see? It's easy! Every step in the dancing has to use one of those alignments. But here's a super secret tip for you guys that have managed to stick here till the end. When you need to progress around the dance floor, the 3 main alignments that you should be using are diag to center, line of dance, or diag to wall. These are the 3 main alignments which help facilitate the progression around the floor. Using alignments that happen to be facing the wall or the center of the floor create a static positioning whilst you're dancing, and using the other 3 options on the alignment compass take you in the opposite direction into oncoming traffic. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. You are now an alignment's
Master.
or mistress. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, I hope today's video has helped clear up some confusing elements about alignments and how they can be more easily understood and used within your own dancing. If you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to give us a like, we'll really appreciate it of course. If you'd like to see more from the Dancers Hideout, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell icon to stay notified for whenever we're putting out some new videos or content. You can also drop down in the comments section anything that you found interesting from today's video, or maybe there's something you want to see in a future video. Let us know. Talk to us, we miss you. You can also contribute to an open donation to the Dancers Hideout via our PayPal account. Any donation is not expected, but if you are going to, it is greatly appreciated. You don't have to contribute a massive amount if you don't wish to. Some people are happy giving a pound or $1. Some people are happy giving like $10 or something. It's whatever you're comfortable with. It's not asked for at all. You can also get more actively involved with what we do here at the Dancers Hideout by contributing to our GoFundMe page, the details of which I'll put in the description section. Any contributions which are made will be greatly appreciated, and we can list you as a contributor on our credits section. In the meantime, I've been Ian, this is the Dancers Hideout, and it's been a pleasure.